Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. Let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. This morning I read an interesting article about a unique detoxification diet that presented some interesting points that I hadn't thought of before. But then I opened up my Instagram and saw new updates from Morgan Asti and immediately thought, I need to be eating whatever he's eating. I have no clue what Morgan weighs right now, but if someone told me that he was 2 M&Ms away from 350 pounds, I would absolutely believe it. Aside from the fact that he's gigantic, he also looks like he's still really lean, which makes it where he is at this point that much more impressive. I don't know what his plans are for the rest of the season, and maybe he doesn't even know what they are himself. But if he shows up anywhere completely locked in, he immediately becomes someone who the judges just have to start paying attention to. During my first few weeks of high school chemistry, I remember having a really hard time working with some of the unit conversions. But with a guy like Robert Taylor, it doesn't matter what your conversion factors are. The guy is an animal no matter which way you slice it. A few days ago, Taylor posted an update of where he's at in his off-season process, which showed off a solid 260 pounds of nastiness. Not too long ago, I know Robert was dealing with some serious injury stuff, so it's good to see that he's back up and running again. And when he competes, Taylor's one of those athletes who always seems to nail his conditioning. So if he has a chance to jump into a show at some point later this season, I would look out for him to be a dark horse top 5 threat. I'm reading a really cool book right now by Nassim Taleb called Skin in the Game, where he talks about some of the asymmetries of everyday life. But do you know who doesn't have any asymmetries? Kamal Elgargni, which is probably why he's the defending 212 Olympia champ. A few days ago, Kamal released a back training clip from inside his personal facility, where he's been holed up taking care of business for the last few weeks. For as long as I've known him, Kamal's been someone who's been nauseatingly consistent with the way he approaches his craft. He doesn't sell himself short, he doesn't miss details, and most importantly, he understands how to attack his weaknesses. The guy is a consummate professional, so it makes perfect sense to me that he's the benchmark for the division right now. Back when I used to travel around to different gyms all over the world, I would find myself in situations where I was essentially forced to go back to basics when some places didn't have certain pieces of equipment I like to use. But when you've been training for as long as Hidetada Yamagishi, getting back to basic feels like second nature. You go back and look at what Hide did in his win at the Dallas Europa Pro last year, it was really impressive considering the fact that it's been a while since we saw him operating at that level. So if getting back to basics is what moves the needle, then this could end up being the start of a strong late season run for Yamagishi. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.